2 hours by flight to the east, in Rangoon, the capital of Burma, or Myanmar as it's called today, I meet a shaman expert from Europe who has come to replenish his supply of a highly effective universal medication from an alchemist. Because Buddhism is the national religion, it's common here to treat illnesses on a spiritual level. Western thinking hasn't yet gained complete acceptance. We have to get off the street quickly. The military government in Myanmar is allergic to film cameras, especially when Western foreigners document these squalid conditions. And not only the golden pagodas normally shown to the tourists. We managed to reach the alchemist's practice unhindered. He's only permitted to work because he has treated high-level members of the military. The master Sayaji Ushain hands over large quantities of his medicine to the European in solid and liquid form. It's a medication manufactured in an inexplicable way, one which has been used for 15 years with the greatest success to treat the most serious illnesses. His altar represents his window to the spiritual dimension, from which he receives his instructions. His contacts are there. His grandfather, his mother, and his spiritual master. All three help him from the beyond to conduct his work without mistakes. He takes up a connection with them through meditation. Sayaji Ushain began his career at a young age in the Burmese army. He is a war veteran with 2 serious wounds. Each time he lay in the hospital, he heard voices which told him, "Stop fighting, then you will be healed and can heal others." He consulted a lama who became his teacher and explained to him that what he heard were the voices of the devas, the compassionate sisters of the beyond. Only when they threatened him and told him he wouldn't survive the next battle did he obey them. Their prophecies were fulfilled. Sayaji Ushain recovered and learned to heal others. He shows us just how he does this. Through an alchemistic process, he manufactures a medication he calls gold ash powder. The basis for the powder is 10 different metals which are melted together. A large portion consists of gold.
The devas revealed the formula to me in my dreams. I'm neither a doctor nor a chemist. I had to proceed exactly as I had dreamed. If I didn't know how to continue, I waited for the next dream. The entire revelation took 14 years, a time in which I often believed the devas would never contact me again.
Why this happens, Yes.
And to this day, the gold ash powder is made according to the deva's formula. In this hut, the 10 different metals are melted together at high temperatures using a catalyst.
What is this one?
Then, together with fruits and herbs which have fermented for months in these ceramic pots, the alloys are processed into a repeatedly distilled concentrate. A damp mixture remains, which is placed out in the sun to dry. If someone wanted to reproduce this medicine, he would have to study the special conditions and skills involved for years, together with Ushain, and even that wouldn't guarantee successful reproduction. The dried mixture is compressed into tablets by these machines. In independent studies, 2 renowned medical institutes in Singapore and Hong Kong examined the tablets for poisonous traces of the metal ingredients and confirmed that none are present, an inexplicable phenomena for chemists. That's why this manufacturing process is called alchemy. The tablets taste and smell completely harmless, like dried plants and herbs. But the miraculous power they contain is almost unimaginable. Each day, people suffering from AIDS and many other patients come to Hussein. All of them are being treated with these tablets. This new AIDS patient is too weak to get out of the taxi. Hussein's reputation extends far beyond the country's borders. That's why many patients come from Bangkok, a city with one of the highest AIDS rates in the world. Most of the patients here were treated with conventional medicine until doctors gave up on them. For this reason, Hussein often treats cases in very advanced stages. But he refuses his help to no one, and only to a very few does his help come too late. The brothers and sisters of this AIDS patient are buying gold ash powder from Hussein. He asks them how much they can afford and lets them determine his fee. Because of the advanced stage of the disease, Hussein hands over his medicine in capsules with a higher concentration than in the tablet form. They receive enough for the entire therapy, so they don't have to return to Myanmar and cross the border illegally again. The tablets have already had an effect on this woman. Only 3 months ago, she was very thin and ill. Now, Hussein is satisfied with her progress. Her hands in particular have grown much stronger. The woman was afraid that she and her 3-year-old daughter, who was also infected with the HIV virus, would die. Her blood tests document that she managed to rid her body of the HIV virus within 3 months.
Now, when he was, after being treated by gold ash powder, he was sent to the clinic to be tested again on the 1st of July, 96, 3 months, and found HIV test negative. So she was so shy, she wanted to run when the foreigners come.
She was infected by her husband, a sailor, who finally died of AIDS. Only after his death, when she and her daughter both contracted AIDS, did she hear of Hussein and obtain the gold ash powder from him. She and her daughter will both have to take the medication a while longer until their conditions stabilize. Normally, healed patients don't return. Therefore, we can't interview them. Hussein gives local patients only enough medicine for 1 month. That way, he can monitor their change in behavior, something he considers equally as important as the tablets for their recovery.
I'm a doctor at a large hospital in Rangoon, and I've been using Hussein's tablets for years in my clinic. I'm head of the tuberculosis ward and have achieved great successes with the tablets.
Yeah. So he had many tests. Yeah.
Our lives have changed completely since we've been coming to Hussein to pray. We were always short on money and suffered lots of misfortune. But now all our new business ventures are going very well, and we've become happy again, as a family. My daughter often comes here to pray for our well-being.
Her daughter takes praying very seriously. She concentrates on wealth as she prays so that it will grow. She does it so intensely that she becomes unconscious or falls into a trance. This is perfectly all right for the instructor. Hussein has several who give exact instructions on how to meditate successfully. Many of these people have become wealthy by using these prayers and keep their promise to use their money solely for good ends and to donate generously to social and religious projects. Part of Hussein's work involves freeing patients from possessing spirits. In order to summon up the intruding spirit, he inactivates their ego consciousness with the sweep of a hand. The intruding spirit is fierce and agonizing. Ushane attempts to arbitrate, for it seems that this spirit will only depart of its own free will. It is the woman's husband from a former life who is still jealous. The girl is supposed to placate him by remaining a virgin a while longer and not seeing other men. He will only depart if she obeys. Otherwise, he can throw her to the ground, suddenly and at any time. Spirits can also have negative intentions.
These attacks used to be much more frequent and severe. Thanks to Ushane, they don't recur as often. In the past, I only had to look at a man and I would pass out. My sister and I sing in bars, and it's bad when men stare at us. I used to collapse often and go crazy. It only improved after I promised not to marry.
Do you have to remain a virgin too?
I'm not a virgin anymore. Like my sister, I've sworn not to marry until my husband from my former life gives me permission to do so.
In parting, I'm also given the task of healing people. Ushane hands me a big bottle of golden ash powder in liquid form and 2 bags of tablets with the provision that I only give them to people who ask specifically for them. His medicine has proven to be full of blessings.